forgot all the Harfoot's names.
Harfoots? I don't know.
The AKA the early Hobbit, essentially, because they can't use the name rights.
Why?
Apparently, they don't have the right to use the name
They
Hobbit.
spent $250 million.
I know, but apparently they can't use the name Hobbit. Was part of the contingency of it. They can't use the name Hobbit.
That's so stupid.
Yep. But yeah, so hey, didn't see you there. What's up, guys? This is your boy Kenny and my main man Drew right here, man. We're coming at you once again, and we're talking about something that we had to catch up on, man. It's been a busy season here. Spooky season's been rolling, man. A lot of horror shit coming out between the old stuff, all the old and all the new stuff coming out, all the old stuff we've been discussing here on the channel. And I also want to say much love and thank you to all you beautiful subscribers that have been joining the channel lately. It has been phenomenal seeing all the support, getting into the comments, talking with you guys about Terrifier 2 and Andor and all this cool stuff, man. So we hope you guys jump into the comments once again. And if you're joining us for the first time, make sure you press that subscribe button. You won't miss any of the dopeness we got talking about here off camera. Me and my boy Drew, man, we're making plans. We're gonna get back into those animes, man. I'm getting far behind, dude. Yeah. Chainsaw Man, My Hero, Bleach, shit. Well,
that's just those three. There's others.
I know, but 2023 is gonna have more, dog.
Oh yeah,
I gotta catch up
before.
Saga.
We got Blue Lock that's already out right now. We also have
gotta catch up.
What is it? Devil's a Part-Timer.
Devil's a Part-Timer.
Which is great.
I haven't watched that one, but there you go. But yeah, dude, there's so much shit to come, man. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna catch up. Don't you be touching no dials, man. Throughout the once spooky season's finally over with officially, man. November into early 2023, we're gonna be getting into some more of that anime stuff. The Wano Country arc in One Piece is coming to an end pretty soon. It's over in the manga, of course, but we're talking the anime. It's gonna be over pretty soon, so we're gonna recap that entire arc. And I'm going to have to go through and get some notes, baby, because there's a lot of shit that went down. We're going to go through all 5 acts, dude. That's my plan.
Because you think it's a kabuki play?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I know technically sort of is, sort of isn't, but I want to go through each section and talk about the whole thing because there's so much to talk about with Wano. It could be an hour, 2-hour podcast, which it probably will, so keep your eyes peeled for that. My Hero Season 6 is a few episodes in right now, and I was talking with my boy Drew here. What we're probably going to do is I'm probably going to split it in half. Once we have a better idea of what the episode count is going to be, like let's say, for example, it's like 30 episodes because this is going to be a larger arc from the manga and everything like that, then you're going to probably see like 15, 16 episodes in one, and then I'll cover the back half as well. I'm going to make sure to try to get my boy Drew on here. Our boy Miguel should be back from his job out of state and everything like that. He's coming in the next couple weeks, so he'll be back here in effect with us in November. So we're going to definitely get him on for My Hero, man. He's the biggest My Hero fan I know, probably other than this guy. So definitely got to get him on. So be looking forward to that, guys. And Bleach 2023, keep your eyes peeled. I ain't going to tell you exactly, but we're going to cover the old stuff and the new stuff. So keep your eyes peeled on that. And Chainsaw Man, that's not really that deep. So look for that in November. I should be getting to that pretty quick. Same thing with My Hero. I'm still deciding, but be on the lookout for My Hero. We're going to definitely hit that. One Piece Film Red, we're going to hit that too. So we're going to have all the anime content back on the channel, guys, but just wanted to take that small break, catch up on some stuff, get through the spooky season. House of the Dragon, all this shit has been going on, and today's topic has been going on, and I had to catch up and binge the hell out of that this weekend. Motherfucking Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, the big prequel series on Amazon that they spent. How much money was that again? 500 mil?
No, not even close. 715 million.
Holy.
715 million.
God
in
damn.
total.
God damn.
And that goes from owning the rights to,
Dude,
making the series.
That was like what the first Doctor Strange movie made overall in the entire world in their entire run.
To be honest, that's a lot more than some countries have for their entire yearly budget.
Jesus Christ, bro. What the fuck? We are some lucky
And
motherfuckers
it's
in
just
America.
a series.
Woo. Man.
Well, to be fair, we're not the lucky ones. We're just watching it.
I know, but we're lucky we get to see this shit, man.
$715 million worth of fucking...
And there was a lot of hype going into this for all the fanboys and all our fellow fandom freaks out there, baby. All the fandom frequency peoples out there. All you Middle-earth hardcore fans. I know y'all were really highly anticipating this one. I am definitely much more casual when it comes to these films. My boy Drew, not necessarily, I guess you wouldn't say hardcore fan, but... more of a fan than someone like me, I guess. So you could say
Lord of the Rings.
A moderate fan.
I like the films. I'm just not a big reader.
The original trilogy. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just not a big reader, but I love that shit. Like, it's one of my favorites.
Big fan of the movies. I'm a casual fan of the movies. I haven't even seen the Hobbit movie, so keep that in mind for this review, guys. This is not your like super duper detailed entire canon knowledge kind of breakdown for this show. So this is more of a casual breakdown / review, recap, whatever you want to call it. So just wanted to throw that out there for some of you Middle Earth stands out there. But yeah, there was a lot of hype going into this one, man, and it's all about the lead up to Sauron getting into power and all this shit once again, and they're gonna give out all the rings and all that shit. Rings of Power, man. And we get introduced to some old characters, some new characters, man. A lot of great stuff going on. We got Morfydd Clark playing Galadriel. We got another actor here, Robert Aramayo, playing Elrond, a young version of Elrond, who was played by Hugo Weaving in the original Lord of the Rings, and Galadriel, who's played by Cate Blanchett. And I'm pretty sure a lot of film fans know her and shit. She done a bunch of stuff. She was Hela in Thor Ragnarok. She was in I don't think you ever saw The Aviator, but she's been in a bunch of shit.
Aviator.
Yeah.
When they're stuck in a hot air balloon
Leo
or something.
DiCaprio movie about Howard Hughes.
Hot air balloon? Oh, airplane. When they're stuck in they're making
Aviator.
airplanes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Aviator. The guy that created the airplanes and shit after the Wright brothers, yeah. But yeah. Anyways, and then you got a lot of new characters introduced in here as well. Some of these might have been mentioned in the lore before. I don't know. But you got Bronwyn, which I don't know if that's a new character or not. Arondir, Durin, Prince Durin, that is, the dwarf, one of my favorite characters.
Durin is not a new character. He
was
was
established.
Yes, he was established.
I thought so.
He's the cousin of Gimli, I believe.
Got you.
So
all right.
In like the I think it's in the first movie. I apologize.
Fellowship.
They're thinking about going into the mines of Moria.
Yes. One of my
Those
favorite
are the
scenes.
mines.
Yeah, that's where they're at, right?
That's where Durin
Where they've
lives.
been this whole
and then
time.
we see Durin like buried in like when they fired like, oh, they got a crave troll. That was the scene.
Oh,
that was Durin.
Nice.
In there. Like,
got you. I'm glad I rewatched those before. Still gotta watch Return of the King though. Still gotta
you should watch it extended. It's great.
I might do it for Return of the King. I might do it. And then we'll get like 30 endings instead of 10.
Yeah, basically.
Jesus.
Well,
Christ.
it's the same ending. It's just a lot more lead up.
I know. I'm just fucking around.
Which is actually really great because you see a lot more of Gimli. And to be honest,
I like
now,
Gimli a lot.
You're gonna love him now. Gimli's my favorite character in Lord of the
whole
Rings.
thing?
In the movies, in the trilogy, Gimli. Before it was Legolas. I'm not gonna lie. Legolas was my favorite.
Yeah, it was probably him or what the fuck?
Aragorn.
Yeah, I don't know why I had a brain fart. Jesus Christ. But yeah, it was definitely Aragorn or Legolas. It always like went back and forth for me.
Gimli is.
But he kind of like
the star.
As I've gotten older, I've kind of starting to appreciate him more.
So funny, dude.
Yeah, he is funny. I like him a lot.
Dwarves aren't runners. We are natural splinters. They're very dangerous in short distances. And then, like later on, he goes into like Return of the King. We don't see this in the actual film. We see it in the extended version when like they're going through the caves and the ghosts are like trying to like grab them.
I roughly remember that.
What we see in the regular movie is they go into the cave because they want to get the mountain men to help them save Minas Tirith. You know, the ghosts. And then he goes like, the blade has been reforged. That guy?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Before that, we actually see them crawl through the caves. So there's this game a while ago that came out on PlayStation 2. It's a Lord of the Rings game, which you played scenes from Fellowship up until the Return of the King. So you played through all of them.
Damn, that's pretty
There's
cool.
this one level where you go through the caves to find the king, the ghost king. I forget his name.
I don't know his name either.
You go to find him, and like you have to fight through the ghosts, and you got to go through like the cave and the caverns and everything.
Right.
We don't see that in the actual movie, in the non-extended version. Excuse me.
PS2.
In the extended version, we see them.
I remember this game.
Yeah, we actually see them walking through, and then like the ghosts.
Third Age, is that what it was?
Yes, Third Age.
Damn, bro.
Great game.
I remember this now. Yeah. Holy shit.
Great game.
I never played it though.
Really? I loved it, dude.
I didn't like Lord of the Rings as a kid.
Oh,
bored me.
I loved it.
I liked it a little bit, but I don't know. I just didn't really get into it. It's too long for me back then, man. I was a very impatient watcher back then.
I have nothing but time.
I feel you. That's what I'm saying. It's very ironic that when I had the most time in the world, I didn't want to watch long movies.
Right. Now you got all the time in the world. Oh, you don't
now
have
I
all
don't
the
have.
time.
I have limited time as an
But
adult.
you want to watch the long ones.
Yeah, so it's fucking stupid ass me. But damn, dude, I forgot about that game, man. That's a deep cut, man.
Dude,
some of you Gen Zers might not remember that.
It's a great game. If you find it like as a fucking, if you could get it for like on
Bro,
Steam or
we
something,
might have to cop that, dude, and play it on the PS5 because they got those new tiers coming out where you could play all the old school shit.
Yeah, but this is old. Like if you could play like Spyro and like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I
and
know.
but those are like very well known
Now,
games.
Like,
Like if you go play,
I don't know if it'll be a part of the.
Have you ever played this game called Time Splinters?
I know about it. Yeah,
You know about it, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's a surprise because Time Splinters is a fucking.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
it's a
I know a lot
callback.
of PS2 games. There's a lot of games I knew about, but I just never played them.
Time
love
Splinters
PlayStation
it's
2.
basically like Riddick,
Yeah,
but when they travel through time, that's basically it. The guy looks
Yep.
exactly
I
like
wanted
Riddick.
to play it. Was it rated R?
It's a great
I mean,
game.
rated M?
Me and my rated R. Me and my brother played it
Yeah,
all the
that's
time.
why I didn't get it. Wasn't allowed to back then.
My mom and dad were there, so we got it at Blockbuster when Blockbuster was a thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on the tail end of that. We were on the
And
tail
then
end.
once my brother turned 18, Blockbuster really wasn't a thing. We started
Nope.
like I don't even know what we did.
It was that GameFly shit, bro.
Yes, we had GameFly.
Yep, I
Actually,
remember.
we had GameFly. Anyway,
Yeah,
off
that's the
topic.
Time Splitters, bro.
Time
Oh no, it's
Splitters.
T. It was T. Never mind.
Yeah,
That was
Splitters
rated
is
M for some
dope.
reason.
It was one of my favorite games. But like all these these that game showed you more about the Lord of the Rings lore, like where you could actually see
That's cool,
shit
man.
happening, you know?
I hope they include that on the PS5 shit. That'd be cool if we can go back and play that.
That'd be great.
But yeah, getting back more into Rings of Power and shit like that. Let me see here. Just going through the rest of some of the big characters here. Celebrador, one of the other elves and all that.
Who?
Celebrimdor, the guy that helped create the rings at the end. The guy that was in charge of the project. Celebrimdor. I'm just saying it
I
really
don't think
bad.
that's how you say the name.
I know. I don't know.
Celebrimdor?
Hey, shit. I told you. I don't know how to say half these names, man. I'm barely getting through the easy ones here. Gilgalad over here, you know what I'm saying? Isildur.
Gilgalad?
Yeah, Gilgalad. Gilgalad, I don't know. Whatever the hell his name is. What the hell? What was the other guy I was about to mention? Isildur. That was one of my favorite additions in the show. Was getting to see the dude that fucked up everything to start off with in Lord of the Rings before he fucked up everything.
Who?
Isildur, the guy
that?
that had the ring in the beginning and then kept it like a dumbass when he said,
king.
"Throw it in the thing." Yeah,
king,
him.
yeah.
Yeah. So I liked getting to see him and getting to see how he was a fuck up even then.
Oh, I honestly didn't even. Oh, he was the
The
guy
kid
who got
that
kicked
wanted
off.
to get off the cease thing. That's him, bruh.
Oh.
And then the guy that runs the things is Pops. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna be honest,
that's him, bro.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
He's a Numenorian.
Yep.
What?
Now we know. Yep.
Shit.
See what I'm saying? And I remember the name just because I watched Lord of the Rings 1 and 2 just before that. So it was very fresh in my mind. I was like, Isildur. Hold on, that's familiar. I was like, yep, the king in the beginning that fucked up everything. I was like, yep, that's him. So he was up in here, man.
That's a spoiler, by the way. He's still alive then, because right now we don't know if he's alive or not in the series. Because like we found his horse. His horse is a little bit wounded.
True point.
And he runs off, you know, but we don't know where he is.
Yeah, we don't know for now.
But obviously we know he survived because he's the one who didn't throw the ring into Mordor.
Yep.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Man. Oh, yeah, we're going to get into some of those details right there, man. But yeah, so a lot of great characters introduced in here. I really like that character, the queen of
The fairies.
Numenor,
Oh.
Murillo. I really dug that character. And the actress, which I'm going to probably fuck up her name a little bit, but Cynthia Adai Robinson, Adai, you know who knows. If you know, you know. But I really like that actress. She was in some other good movies like The Accountant, Columbiana, and all these other things. So I really like getting to see her up in here. And yeah, but she was cool. I really like that character. And yeah, so pretty much the whole big thing is Sauron's back, but no one believes Galadriel. And in the first episodes, they're like, shut the fuck up, man. He's gone. I'm tired of looking around for this motherfucker, bitch. You look for him. And then all these dudes in the very first episode are like, fuck off. I'm not looking for this guy anymore. And then they all want to go back home. But she's like, listen, you dumbasses. He's still out there. Well, she's right. Because once she goes on the boat or whatever, and she's going to go back to wherever the hell she's from, because I don't remember the name.
Valinor.
Thank you. Once she's going to go back there, she jumps ship, literally. And then she's swimming in the middle of the ocean. She's like, oh, I hope I made the right decision. And then she runs into the most obvious plot twist of all time, Mr. Halbrand. And yeah, so I don't know for some of you fine folks out there, but I knew from almost the first episode this guy was introduced, he was going to be either Sauron himself or someone sent by Sauron to do something, because he seemed way too suspicious to me. And it turns out he was Sauron, of course. We find that out here in the finale. and all that. And Galadriel's all pissed off. She got the scrolls because she was like, hey, give me all the information on the King of the South. I want the Southland's history and shit. Give me the information.
They even say it in the show. It's like, oh, we don't have complete records.
He's like, we don't have the complete records. I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. Get on there and fill out that wiki.
But who knows? Maybe the line really wasn't broken.
I know.
And they just didn't have the records.
Well, we know he's Sauron, though.
I know, but yeah, he already
That'd
ruined
been funny
it.
if like he didn't come out as Sauron.
If he played it off.
Yeah, see what I
Yeah.
mean? But he didn't do that. So, yeah. But yeah, she comes with the scroll and shit, and he's like, hello, thank you for inspiring me to do better and shit. And then she's like, motherfucker, please. You ain't no motherfucking King of the Southlands. I've read the whole fucking bloodline. This motherfucker died 1,000 years ago. So who the fuck are you, man? And she's like, I'm the one you've been looking for this whole time, bitch. I got you. And then she's like, oh, shit, man. I just brought Sauron right into the midst of everything, man. Numenor's fucked up now. And that other place.
Well, they're not in Numenor.
No, I know. But I'm saying Numenor's all messed up now because the queen's gone. The king looks like he just died at the end of the thing.
Yeah, he died.
Passed away.
He died.
So now, and he was saying to the girl, which I believe is Isildur's sister, you're going to be the queen now. So I was like, oh.
No.
Or am I getting it mixed up?
He was saying...
Oh, he thought he was talking to his
thought
daughter.
he was talking to his
My
daughter.
bad.
Yeah.
He thought he was talking to Murillo. My
Yeah.
bad. And that's when she becomes queen, and then that kind of goes into that vision she had.
Right. But
in
that
the
was before she
beginning.
was blind. So now the guy, I don't know who the
Yeah,
bearded
she went full
dude.
Daredevil, man.
Yeah, the bearded dude though.
Yeah.
She's not Daredevil.
I know, I'm
Don't
just
insult the
joking,
guy.
I'm joking.
Daredevil's awesome. Anyway, excuse me. The guy with the beard, like, was he
Yeah.
a brother? The brother of the king or some shit?
I would assume so. What was his name?
I don't know, to be
Let me
honest.
see.
I
if
forgot
can
about him.
pull him.
They showed him up in like
Is it
this.
Fedazon?
I can't-
Yeah, Fedazon. I can see the
Okay.
picture of the guy here. Fedazon. Fedazon.
Excuse me. Anyway,
One of those was right.
they like he's standing on like at his bedside, like when
Yeah.
you see the king.
He's
or
pissed,
the,
dude.
The former king, pissed or like fucking frustrated because he was the one that killed him.
Well,
Who knows? We don't know. We don't know if like
We don't
because
know
the
what
guy was
happened,
already
huh?
fucking like
Dead, essentially.
he was already like I was gonna say senile.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
sure, dead. Is
Oh,
another word
sorry.
to put it.
I thought you were going somewhere else. My bad.
No, because like that's why he was freaking out. He was talking to this chick who's drawing him for some reason. I don't know why. So all these that honestly, I have to say this. It's episode 8, the last minute when the guy was saying you guys will be granted 1 hour a day with the king. Use it wisely. And then the next scene we see is this bitch drawing the king.
Yeah.
What the fuck is their point of being in the room? Why are they a thing? Like, why do they have an hour? Like, who are these people? Are they like supposed to make a portrait of the king?
I don't know, dude.
Like, you know, or are they just supposed to like? I didn't understand this. This made no sense to me. And
Yeah, I
then
didn't
like,
get it
and
either.
then the king goes ballistic, literally like throws a fit, and then he tells the girl to look at the ball, which we see in Two Towers. Saruman has is that one ball,
I knew I
which
recognized that,
Pippin,
bro.
which Pippin like he opens and he looks in it and he's like, oh shit,
Got
and then
you.
they got to take him to Minas Tirith, which is the whole
Yeah.
movie 3. Right, cool. So
Got
that
you.
ball was the ball that they have in Numenor. Obviously, and like the king looked into it, and then he saw the future of Numenor. He saw the future of Numenor getting wiped out.
Dude, when they did, was that episode 7 or 8 when they had that beginning where she had the vision?
7.
Okay, dude, that shit, I was like, what the fuck is going
Yeah.
on? I was like,
Yeah.
who's doing this?
The thing I know about, like, the thing is like, if you know a little bit, I know a little bit about,
Yeah.
like, Lord of the Rings lore. Numenor is an island nation. It's a very strong island nation. Best thing I could think of is Carthage. You know, Rome and Carthage. Carthage is
got
an
you.
island nation.
I forgot about
They're
that
very
shit, yo.
strong.
Yeah.
Well, that's the inspiration.
That's probably what they're going for,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was the inspiration. Gondor is Rome, but even though it's part of in Lord of the Rings, it's like it's Numenor. It
Gotcha,
itself.
gotcha.
Like Gondor is not a thing right now in what is it called? Ring of Power because
Yeah. We
the
will
peop-
see it eventually.
We will see it once Numenor gets destroyed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we gonna see like the beginning of
Yeah.
of it.
But we
The
do
origin.
know in the lore of Lord of the Rings, Numenor is an island nation and they get destroyed somehow.
Yeah,
Either they get flooded or
found that out from googling. But yeah,
whatever. So after Numenor gets destroyed, the survivors go and then they create Gondor.
Yep.
The Gondor is, and then we end up getting the
That's
third
where
movie.
Aragorn and them are from.
Minas
Right?
Tirith. That was the king that we ended up losing, which was Aragorn. And then like boom, because like when they Numenor moved to becoming Gondor, I'm assuming because obviously we don't really
We don't know for sure yet. Yeah,
It might be in the books, but I'm not sure. I didn't read the books.
yeah, me neither.
But like there might have been a point in the time where them going from Numenor to Gondor, the Numenorians, they lost the bloodline, the king.
Yep.
Not like dead lost, but like literally lost.
They don't know
like,
where the fuck he's at.
Where'd I
Yeah.
put my keys? Kind of lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's he at?
Yeah. So that they're like, oh shit, where is he at? And we don't know. And then we just never knew until Aragon
pops up.
and then we get the King of Gondor
And
coming
that's
back.
the thing. I want to give some credit, man, to the writers, to the team that did the show. They did a great job of setting up all this lore, man. And it doesn't seem to contradict anything so far because they're just setting things up. And I really love that. It really makes this. I know a lot of you Middle Earth fans. I know some of y'all online have really not been liking the series. And I'm not saying you have to like the series because we like it. But I think if you guys would maybe just open your mind a little bit and go back and see some of these details, I think you might appreciate the show a little bit more because they really do a great job of setting the table for a lot of big things to come. Honestly, man. Like the whole thing with the wizard. Like we'll get into that, right? Who's that, right? Is it Saruman? Is it Gandalf? Or is it
Radagast?
Radagast. I almost want to call him Ratatouille for some reason. But
Oh.
Radagast. So there's a big thing right there. Who is he? Or is he a guy that precedes them and taught them their thing? I don't know.
No.
Or not taught them, but
Gandalf is
what
like...
I'm saying is, what I meant to say was, or is he just another guy from the same place?
No, so in Lord of the Rings, we do know that there are 3 wizards.
Okay, see, this
In
is
the
stuff I
trilogy,
wasn't
we
paying
do
attention
learn
to.
that there are 3 wizards.
Okay,
But in the
so it's
trilogy,
them
we're
3 guys.
only introduced to 2.
Right.
Saruman the White.
Radagast was the one we didn't see.
Yeah, Radagast is the only one we
Until
didn't
the
see.
Hobbit movies? Or
Until
no?
the Hobbit movies, we see Radagast the Brown. Because we had Saruman the White, Gandalf the Grey, and then now we have Radagast the Brown.
Got you. Was he old in the Hobbit?
They were all old.
Well, I mean, like, was he like pretty old though? Like, old,
Yeah.
really old
Yeah.
for them.
He's old.
So
old.
it could be.
He was Peter, where he had the birds living in his beard.
Yeah.
That old. Yeah.
Okay, so this could. So would you say it's Radagast more likely than the other 2?
I think it might be Radagast, but the
Yeah.
only reason why I thought it was Radagast because he kind of felt it. For me, anyway, I thought like he looked like he was at home in the forest, and like the way he was just around. Like I just thought since he's around the
fit
hobbits,
that vibe more
I
than the
pictured
other 2
him as
characters.
Radagast because
Yeah.
like there's no way he's gonna be Gandalf. I don't think like there's a chance he's gonna be Gandalf again.
Yeah,
like,
I
he was
think
gonna be
Gandalf more
too.
than Saruman, but yeah.
If they bring Radagast, that's kind of gonna be weird because nobody knows who he is.
True,
You know
but
what I mean?
Isildur is kind of like that.
Well, yeah, but like he's not a major character in
I
the
know.
3 films.
True. Radagast is a bigger deal.
Yeah, like so like if they bring in like, oh hey, the first wizard we introduced into the Lord of the Rings series,
Is Radagast and
Radagast the
Gandalf.
Brown instead of Gandalf the Gray.
Right.
Like
Kind
who
of
the
weird,
fuck they're
right?
like, who the fuck is Radagast?
Right.
We need to see Gandalf. We just learned he's a wizard. He just
Right.
came from the stars
Yeah,
for some
this could be
fucking
young
reason.
man Gandalf, yeah.
Well, young is
You know what I mean.
I looked up Gandalf's age. He's about 24,000 years old. Look it up.
Jesus Christ.
I'll look it up right now. Gandalf's age.
24? This motherfucker's older than we've existed.
Gandalf, well, because the wizards aren't like
Well, I know they're not
wizards we
normal.
see in like fairy tale or like they're not
Yeah.
humans.
They're more like cosmic beings in this universe.
yes,
I always
which
look
is
at
why
it.
we see
They're like
this guy
celestials.
fall from the stars.
Yeah,
Gan-
which is why I thought that was pretty obvious early on in this series that he was gonna be a wizard. Like it was very, very obvious to me. Like in the end there, in the last episode when all those Saruman creepy chicks showed up and they're like, "You're the one." I'm like, "No, he's not."
I'm sorry. I like to correct myself. Gandalf walked into Middle Earth for 2,019 years.
Oh shit, dude. He's like as
Unaging.
old as we've almost existed.
Unaging and appearing as
After
gray-bearded human of about 60 years. So he looked like he's a 60-year-old man
Yeah.
for 2,019 years.
Hey,
But as
good genes.
Maya, he lived at least 9,000 years before Middle Earth even existed. That means
he's like
his
11,000
real
years
age
old.
is close to 11,000 years.
Holy shit.
That's how old Gandalf
so this
the
probably
Grey
is Gandalf then.
Yeah. But to be fair, Gandalf the Grey is not even the oldest character in.
No, I know.
Fucking Legolas is older than him.
He is, yeah. Those
Which
elves
is
are
crazy
old.
to think about.
Galadriel too, right?
Yeah, Galadriel is way
Yeah,
older.
she's old
than-
as
yeah.
fuck, dude. It's cool. It's so crazy. And that's another big positive of mine. I really loved Galadriel in this series.
Yes.
And I know you brought up earlier too, like the warrior stuff's kind of new, something they kind of changed up.
Well, we did know, like, in
she
the
did
series,
fight back in the day.
We did know she was
Yeah.
a warrior.
They just went into like different details with the
Yeah.
brother and fleshing that out. And I think they did a good job with that. And I liked her character a lot. I liked the journey that she went on. And I really love the actress and think that they picked someone that looked kind of like Kate Blanchett, but not exactly. But I thought she really kind of I don't know. She just felt like the same character to me. I thought she did a
Well,
really
she's
good
definitely
job.
a younger version of her, for sure.
Yeah, and I thought she felt that way to me. And I really dug that overall. And I like the Elrond character a lot. I really loved him and Durin. And yeah, I'd probably say them two and Galadriel are really my favorite characters. And Durin, as we know, he's an established character that we've met his corpse at least.
Yeah, we
But
know
I
of him.
loved him. He might be my favorite character of this series, man.
Durin, to be honest,
So relatable.
to be honest, for me, if you throw a dwarf
yeah,
on the
it's already
screen,
got your interest right
he's
there.
got me.
Yeah,
I love the dwarves.
I feel you, man.
I've been playing there's this game called Third Age Total War, which is it's a little bit off topic, but it's about Lord of the Rings.
Oh, cool.
It's
It might be good for the fans to know,
it's
man.
a Lord of the Rings type style RTS game where it's kind of like if you think about like Halo Wars,
Yeah.
but instead of creating your own base, you just buy your units and then the game starts and you have your units on the field, and then you
Alright,
got to
that sounds
control
kinda
your
cool.
units in defeating the enemy units. So
Got
there's this
you.
Third
Alright.
Age Total War mod where you play with Lord of the Rings characters.
That's
so
sick.
like you'll have Knights of Numenor, you'll have the Gondorian Knights, Riders of
Cool,
Rohan,
man.
what is it, Mordor, orcs, the orcs from the White Hand. All these different factions in this game where you can
pretty
play as.
sick.
Yeah, and it's really cool. I love that kind of shit. So like you get to see them like fight. And,
That's cool, man.
you-
I've
depending
never been
on-
in those kind of games where for people that love Lord of the Rings, that love those kind of games,
Right.
perfect synergy right there.
So whenever I will see those games, I loved seeing like that. Honestly, that's what kept my interest in Lord of the Rings a lot because I love orcs. I love the dwarves. The dwarves are one of my favorite military forces ever.
Me too.
They're OP as shit.
I like the dwarves, man.
Like
They're cool.
like people don't give dwarves enough credit.
They don't,
When-
man.
like they really do. I know they're short, but dude, they will fuck
badass,
your
man.
shit up. Even in like lore, in anything. There's this anime. I know we're talking about Lord of the Rings, but anyway, there's this anime called Drifters.
I haven't heard of that one.
It's a great anime. I recommend people watch it. It's only one season, 24 episodes, I believe.
See,
maybe.
now you're talking my language.
Anyway, there's a mythical realm where there's humans, elves, dwarves, so on and so forth. But right now we are only introduced to the elves and dwarves. In the dwarves lore, they're talking about how the dwarves are so strong they will split a rock in twain with their
Wow.
axe. And what we see in Lord of the Rings, they're splitting rocks in twain with
Ah,
their axe.
nice.
You know, and that's the dwarves. They're true in almost all
All fiction
fiction
and
all
fantasy
fiction
and all
and
that kind of
yeah,
shit.
like dwarves are dwarves. Elves are always a little finicky. They're
Right.
either long living or just angelic beings or
That are, like,
just
douchey
great
or whatever.
archers.
Yeah.
But they're just never like consistent.
They're the standard
Dwarves-
badass, kinda.
Dwarves are consistent.
Yeah.
Dwarves are always great miners, strong, always using axes. Love it.
If they didn't do this
Yeah.
idea for Rings of Power, I wouldn't have minded them doing a dwarf thing.
I would have loved it.
You know what I mean?
But like since we're seeing actually like
But they're
I've-
kind of fleshing out all these groups, so
Right.
I'm kind
Yeah.
of happy with it.
which is great because we actually see we see the elves in Lord of the Rings. We don't
Little
see the
bit.
dwarves.
Yeah, you see elves a lot more than dwarves for sure, but
We go to Linden.
yeah, you know what I'm
We
saying.
see
So
the
you
capital.
See the elves. Yeah,
we
you
see the
'em.
capital, but then we go to the capital of the dwarves.
and it's not really.
Everybody's dead.
Yeah.
nobody's around. The mines of Moria are
man.
gone.
Great stuff, though. Great stuff.
Like it's so sad. But
Yeah.
now we actually see
Sets up the stakes, though.
we
in a great
see
way.
like the dwarven mines alive.
Yes, dude, that was so
Strong.
cool. And the king and Durin
Yes.
and his wife, who's awesome, man. Hold up, got to give her a shout out. I really liked. I've never seen that actress either, but I thought she was awesome. Yeah, Sofia Nomvete is Disa. I loved his wife, man. That's goals right there, man. Just
she
a
lied.
great, yeah, like just a great.
Yeah.
That's who you want to be backing you up, man.
When she lied to Elrond,
Yeah.
even though she didn't want to.
Yeah, man. I just love that.
I
She
just
backs
had
up her
to.
man 100%. I love that.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was like, no, fuck your dad. You got to help Elrond. We got to do this thing,
Yes.
man.
Even though she just lied to him to protect her husband, she was like, "No, we do need to help him. He's a great man."
I love that, man.
And
And
we
the
gotta
whole
help his
conflict with
people.
him and his dad, like, fuck
Yeah.
that. You ain't Prince no more, motherfucker. Give me
Now
that
it
shit.
makes me really wonder what happens to the mines of Moria because we do see the Belrog.
Yeah.
On the end of the next
Yeah,
episode,
dude, I was
you
like,
saw
holy
that?
shit.
I was like, "What the fuck?
What?
Like, they just dug deep enough, and then they see the Belrog. Like I know they brought him. Like they say it in Fellowship of the Rings.
Man.
There's things that live in the mines of Moria that are more ancient than you could even think about.
Yeah,
which is the
man.
Belrog himself.
You shall not
But then we see him.
Yeah, man.
And what is that going to do to the series? Because, like, we know there's a
They
mind.
gotta use him, man.
No, they're not. Because, like, he's slowly going to destroy Mines of Moria, in my opinion. Right. Because, like, right now, he's just emerged, right? So we see him burst out of the rocks.
So they aren't aware of him, right?
They don't know about him yet.
Okay, I was thinking but I wanted to
he's still
ask you
in the
about that.
mines where they still can mine mithril. So they're going to send people down to mine mithril.
Shit.
And then they're going to release him even more.
Right.
Yeah. So when they release him even more, he's going to weaken, not destroy, weaken the Mines of Moria. And then the armies of Mordor will come and destroy the Mines of Moria.
Jeez, man. So much
That's
cool
my
shit.
opinion. That's my theory.
So
That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Man. Sound off below if you agree or disagree. I want to hear y'all's theories on this stuff. For all you hardcore Lord of the Rings fans, give me the fucking tea, man. I want to know. Because that's why I had to have you on this thing, man, because I was like, these are the details we need to get into, man, because I'm like, when he popped up, I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
This show could get so much crazy.
I was like, holy shit. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
I wasn't even expecting him to show up this soon.
That's what I'm saying,
The end of the first season?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, see, this might be one of those series that just gets better and better.
It's going to get better and better.
So that's what I'm telling y'all, man. If you guys jumped off the ship, I think you need to come back and give it
$715 million worth, you guys.
Y'all need to come check this out. I'm telling you, man. It may not hit every button for you as a Lord of the Rings fan, like this latest Halloween movie from Michael Myers kind of did some weird shit I wasn't feeling. I think it might be like that, but I think if you can look past some of those things and look at more of what they're going for, man, they really understand the lore. They really understand what they're adapting, and I think they understand how to set it up, but also flesh out the new stuff that this time period allows them to do. Which is... with Harwin and her brother and the elves and all that, and how they hate the people for siding with the not Sauron. Sauron, and then
it's not Saruman.
Yeah, not Saruman, but Sauron. I almost always do that every time. And then the guy before him, I keep forgetting the guy that predates him, that was like controlling everything going on.
I think his name is Saruman.
Yeah, something like that.
Saruman and Sauron.
Yeah.
Sauron is his underling. Saruman is the guy. And then who's the white wizard again? It's not Saruman, is it? Am I getting confused?
Yeah, that's Saruman.
Fuck with these S names.
I know, freaking Christopher Lee, man. Yeah, Count Dooku right there. That was him. Yeah, Saruman. For sure. Okay, but either way, I forget the other guy's name. If you know what I'm talking about.
I'm sorry.
But I like the way they fleshed out that and how those certain elves hated on the humans and shit like that. I was like, oh, I love all this, racial subtext and everything like that. I think that's always interesting, and how that still comes up today in 2022, man. So I thought that was really cool.
Of course, they're gonna bring that up in this.
You know what I'm saying? But I thought it was subtle compared to everything else that's going on. I don't think they went too heavy into that where it became like a preachy kind of thing. So I'm definitely glad they didn't go into that. And the one thing that I wasn't loving at first for the first maybe 4 episodes, honestly, was the Harfoot stuff.
Why?
I liked it at first. I liked the girl, whatever. She's plucky. She wants to go on an adventure. She's curious. She wants to go do stuff. I get it. But I just felt after a while it was getting kind of repetitive with, we are tired of you always going off the trail and blah, 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 blah. And then the wizard was like, I know what's coming. So I feel like they dragged that out too long for 8 episodes when I'm like, he's obviously a fucking wizard.
But we don't know who he could have been.
We still don't know for sure, but I just hated how they
were
know
he's not Saruman.
What is he?
Sauron. We know he's not Sauron.
Annoying. I know, but it was just getting a little annoying to me for a while. But once they started getting to the point where they lost their home and shit, and they had to go find a new spot, then it started getting more interesting to me. And the last 3 episodes really brought that home for me.
Honest,
so I'm more interested to see her journey with the wizard now,
Of course. But to be honest, I like I'm going to call them hobbits.
Yeah, no, we can say whatever the fuck we want. Yeah. I just know there was some rights issue where they couldn't use hobbit.
I'm just kidding, don't sue us.
But
anyway,
yeah.
For the hobbits, they were... What they represent in the actual series is that they represent the common people.
Yeah, for
common
sure.
Folks.
I totally get their place.
So that's why we see with the rings, with the one ring, when men, specifically men, and elves, or even Gandalf. We even see Gandalf. He's like, don't tempt me, Frodo. I will if I take this, because he's a man, he's a human.
Yeah.
Well, we don't relatively. You know what I mean? He's normal,
humanoid.
That's a word. Yeah, humanoid. He's not like the half-foot. Fuck Hobbit. He's not more like the hobbits. Since he has all this power.
It's bad for him to have
there's
that shit.
There's a chance for somebody that with power, they're going to want to be greedy.
Yup.
But then we get the hobbits. The hobbits don't
don't
desire
have
any
anything,
power.
yeah.
They don't want
They
anything.
can't do shit, really. Yeah.
Which is why when we see Gollum with the ring, he had the ring for hundreds
it
of
weakened
years.
him. He couldn't even control it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't use it. He didn't
No.
use it to rule Middle Earth.
It was like his drug, you know?
He just wanted it with him.
Yeah.
Same thing we saw with Bilbo. With Bilbo, he just
He
wanted
just
to check
wanted it with him.
if it's in his pockets. Oh, it's not there. Where's it? Oh, it's in my other pocket. Thank God.
Yep.
Oh, he just wants, but he doesn't want to use the power to rule
Do
the
anything
world
with it, yeah.
But that represents the common people, the hobbits, us,
The
like
good,
just
I would
the
say
ones,
the good moral people, you know?
yeah, the ones that just live their lives to work to make everything function. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like the United States or any other government in the world will not function without the common people.
Just the middle class.
working grocery stores.
Yeah, just the middle class dude,
Yeah,
you know, or
working,
girl.
being janitors.
Yeah.
The countries will not run without them. Like we need these people.
Your yard workers and shit like that.
Those are the hobbits.
Yeah.
And then we see in the Lord of the Rings films where like the hobbits are the ones that could resist the temptation
Yeah.
of power.
Yeah.
Like they're
Sure.
the ones that like they're saying that the little people could change the
Yeah.
world.
And Frodo had to be the guy because everyone else was tripping. Sean
Frodo,
Bean's over
yeah.
here like, give me that ring, man.
John Bean?
Sean Bean.
What was that?
I don't know his character's name.
Boromir?
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, I for some
I always
reason,
forget
knew that was-
Boromir's name, man. I always forget. But Sean Bean.
Yes, him. He was saying like, "Give me the ring," because
Even
he's
Aragorn
a
was
human.
like,
He wants the power to like.
Yep. Yeah, he was
Fight
straight
against-
up like Isildur. Like, no,
Yeah.
we need that shit for
We
power.
need it. Yeah, but nope.
And
They-
Aragorn, he knew for a fact that he wouldn't be able to hold strong if he had it, but he knew for a fact that like, no, we can't have this shit,
Yes.
and I don't even want this shit because Isildur fucked us up, bro. Like he fucked everything up.
So he realized.
Ghost?
No, it's a.
I know, I'm fucking
It's a
around.
bag.
it's the ghost.
Fucking.
I'm a
Isildur,
ghost,
we
ghost,
got
ghost.
this.
It's like, how high? I'm a ghost.
All right.
So good. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments, baby. One of the best stoner comedies of all time, and they're in Clerks 3. Go check out that review. But yeah, man. So much great lore and so much great character building, man. But like overall, what would you say is like your overall thoughts on like the series? Good stuff, bad stuff, and all that.
I'm loving the series.
Cool, man.
I'm enjoying it very much. I'm like in a lot of shows and a lot of like TV series, specifically live actions. I skip a lot of shit.
Right.
Game of Thrones. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm one of those guys too. I didn't watch a single
I
thing.
skipped a lot of it.
Yeah.
I just didn't really care.
Me neither.
Like Lord of the Rings didn't catch my Game of Thrones. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't catch my interest like the way Lord of the Rings did.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Rings. It was just so. I've sat there. I've rewatched the series twice. So I've seen every episode 2 times already. Episode 1 through 8.
Damn,
Not
nice.
8. 8 just came out. I've seen it only once.
I'm
gonna rewatch
the
it.
second they announce like season 2 release date, whatever the fuck, I'm getting
in.
back into it, and I'm gonna be like all fresh.
I've just loved this.
good.
I've just loved the lore. I've loved the series. I've just liked how they do expand on I love like. Okay, I know we talked about this before this podcast ended, before the podcast started, but when we're talking about Star Wars, I love Star Wars mainly because
Same
the
here.
lore of Star Wars is
so
so vast.
interesting, and you
It's
could go so many
interesting.
places
You could
with
do
it.
so many things. Exactly.
Yep.
Same thing with Lord of the Rings. There's
True.
so much you could do with Lord of the Rings. There's so much of a lore that we honestly have not experienced as a fan base. Maybe like in the books to an extent, but in the movie franchises,
Yeah.
we have not experienced.
And the Hobbit kind of dragged
Films,
out
yes,
a lot of
anything.
stuff and everything like
Even
that.
in The Hobbit, when we got introduced to Smaug, I honestly, people didn't like Smaug. I like Smaug. He was
Yeah.
the only dragon we got introduced into
Benedict
the entire.
Cumberbatch did that actually.
The voice?
Doctor Strange, baby.
That's awesome.
Yep.
See, it was such an interesting thing, and they even got the dragons right. Dragons love treasure; they love shiny things. So they
I would say even the hardcore like critics and fans on that one were like, you know what? They did do Smaug right.
dragons. Dragons always loved shiny things. In any kind of mythos
true.
you want to think about,
true.
if you go fight a dragon, if you look at any
Even
European,
Shrek, man.
even European dragons,
Yeah.
exactly. The dragon in Shrek is a European dragon.
Yep.
If you know the difference between European and Western and Eastern dragons.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
What-
Eastern's more like the Shenron type of stuff for y'all that know.
Well,
right?
actually, best way. If you guys ever seen American Dragon Jake Long,
It's been a minute, but I did watch
but do you
that.
know of it?
Yeah.
You
that
know
was
the
my jam.
grandpa.
Yeah.
The grandpa's the
Roughly, yeah.
Western.
Right.
Jake is the Eastern.
Right.
The grandpa is the slithering dragon. no wings, just jumps on clouds. They
Yeah.
don't fly, they bounce on clouds, actually. That's the lore of them. Then we have the Western, where we have Jake, where the arms and then the wings on the
medieval
back.
type shit.
Yes, those are the dragons.
Oh yeah, I got a dragonology book, bro. I was all into that shit.
Those dragons, the Western types of dragons, have always been interested into jewelry for whatever reason.
Oh.
It's kind of a lore kind of thing. It's
weird.
When you kill a dragon, you become rich because one, it's a dragon. You get fame.
Even Avatar carried that over a little bit.
And then you also have like the treasure that the dragon has because of all the people that the dragon's killed. It kind of makes no sense, but whatever. That's what people think. Like that's the lore of like the dragons. They love shiny shit.
And they carry that over, man.
Yeah.
We didn't see too many dragons in Rings of Power, but we're gonna get there.
We didn't get any dragons in Rings of Power.
No, we didn't.
No.
But we're gonna get there.
We might get Smog.
It's true.
We really might.
Because it's pre-Hobbit.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's pre-Hobbit.
Probably latter half of the series.
So we might see what happens to the minds of, I don't know the names.
I think
of
that's for sure.
Mines.
Mines of Moria, right?
No, it's not the Mines
the
of
other
Moria.
one, the
The
other
ones that Smog took over
Yeah,
was
the
not
other
the
one,
Mines of
sorry.
Moria.
Yeah.
It was something else. I forgot the
Drop
name.
it down
to be
below
honest.
if you know.
Yes, please do. I honestly forgot the name of that mine.
Let me see. I might be able to find it. Let's see.
You actually can. Just type in the Hobbit movie Mines of.
Yeah, like the
whatever.
Hobbit. Mines. Well,
When
maybe
we-
it is Mines of Moria.
It's not the Mines of Moria.
Well, it said Mines of Moria. See, that's why.
Well, yeah, because the Mines of Moria is in the Hobbit show right now.
What dwarves? No, I don't want to
excuse
do
me.
that. The Hobbit mines. Wait, hold on. The mines in the Hobbit movies. Let's see if I can find
Dwarf Mine Hobbit movie.
the Mines of Moria. I keep saying.
It's not. There's no way.
Don't tell me. Hey, don't ask me, man.
I gotta look it up. Hold on, give me a second, you guys. Pause.
Mines of Moria. I don't know, man. I'm trying to find this, man, because I really want to know what the hell this is called. Battle of Azanalbazaro.
East Gate of Moria. What the fuck? It is Moria.
I guess it is. I guess another part of Moria. Maybe it was a part of Moria we didn't see.
Like the other side? Because
Maybe.
it is a mountain.
Yeah.
Moria's is a mountain.
That would make sense.
So it could be there's the entrance of Moria, and then
Yep.
it could be the other side of the Moria.
Because they didn't go nowhere near through it in Fellowship. They said, let's get the fuck out of here before
Well, they did go through Moria because
Yeah.
we saw the bell
They were
rock.
like, hurry up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, hurry up, let's go. Like,
So
they
we
weren't
saw-
sticking around to look around, you know? They're like, hurry up, get across the bridge, hurry up.
My question is, if it is the real, if it's the same Mines of Moria,
Right.
where the fuck is the Balrog in the Hobbit?
I don't know.
Like, where's he at? Like, is he? Just
I think these are some of the complaints. I think that's why people don't like those movies as much. Because there's stuff like that. They're just like, wait, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like the hardcore fans, I think that's why they didn't fuck with it like that. Because Lord of the Rings and movies, like they hit all those details, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think that's why The Hobbit and Peter Jackson even said they were getting kind of lazy and rushing through shit. So
I hate when people do that.
yeah, but I commend him for being honest about it in retrospect.
Right.
So, but that's what happens. But that's the one thing I want to say with this show. They didn't do that. At least I don't feel. I even felt like they took their time too much sometimes, you know? But, like, was there any negatives of the show at all? Like, was there any characters you didn't like or anything you would change or something that wasn't hitting for you? A storyline, a reveal, anything?
To be honest, not really.
Well,
Like, I know it's a little slow, but like I don't like
yeah,
slow
I have a few
shit's
complaints
fine.
as well. Yeah.
Like slow is like slow and steady.
if it
When's the
pays
race?
off, I usually don't bitch and complain too much about it.
Even if it doesn't pay off, like it
Nah,
expands.
to me, if it doesn't pay off, I'm pissed. Because
if
I'm
it
like, I
expands-
sat through this shit and it's boring.
no,
Like
but
Hellraiser, the new one, that movie was like 30, 40 minutes too long, and the payoff was lame. Well, the payoff was cool, but I felt like I sat through a movie and I didn't feel that fulfilled, or like I felt very disappointed when I watched that movie, you know? Like this show, I didn't feel that way when I finished it, you know? I was like, you know, it took us a while to get there sometimes, but when we got there, I was fucking happy. But maybe that's just me.
when I saw it, I loved it. I loved every minute of it, to be honest. I didn't skip anything. I sat there and I watched even the dumbass people talking about stupid shit. I didn't give a shit. Like I don't even remember what they were talking about, but I sat there and I watched it. But the thing is just
hooked
because
in there,
like
man.
it did introduce more lore
So
into the
much
Lord of the
cool
Rings
lore,
films.
man.
That's what I love. I love like when we were talking about this earlier. I love the Star Wars and Lord of the Rings films, and like the Halo game franchises, mainly because they have such a lore that we do not know as a movie base or a TV show base in
that's
like
been
a
the fun
visual
for me
kind of
for
thing.
Marvel over the last 10 years, you know, getting to see all this
Right.
cool shit we know about.
So like now we're finally seeing more of Star Wars, of Lord of the Rings, and I hope Halo, better Halo, but
Yeah.
I hope, like you know, I hope we get to see all these different types of like of what made these franchises become as great as they are.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars is not just it's the Return of the Jedi. No, there's so much more. There's so much
Exactly.
more than
Like
just
you-
that.
Like we discussed
It's
off
not
camera.
about
Rule of Two, Old Republic, High Republic.
Oh my god. The
you know,
unknown region, all these different
unknown
things,
regions,
and
yeah.
like that's like little just words to bring out the lore. Fucking with Lord of the Rings, we're seeing how Mordor became a thing.
So
we
fucking
saw the early orcs, how they were actually
Yeah.
affected by the sunlight, and now we
Yeah,
see them get
man.
stronger to the point where they don't get affected by sunlight.
Because that
And,
that hit me for a second. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
because they're still young, they
Yeah.
don't know.
I was like, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's great, and we get to see all this shit, and we get to see them grow as either an evil villain or as the good guys.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
care.
Did they
Like
have
I
that
want
one
to see.
place was like called something else, and then they called it Mordor?
They ended up calling it Mordor
Yeah.
once the
I was like, that was
volcano
cool
exploded.
as fuck, man.
That was the birth of Mordor.
I love that. Cause I didn't
Like,
even see that
that's
coming.
insane.
Because I'm not like as well versed. I was like, oh,
So
shit.
now-
hey.
Now we're gonna get in the second season. My theory is we're gonna get introduction of the Eye.
Oh, okay.
Somehow they're gonna build a tower, and then they're gonna incorporate the Eye. Sauron.
Is he still going to be running around though?
Sauron?
Yeah.
We don't know. He might get killed.
I'm.
And then the only
that
way to
worries me
and the
a
only
bit.
way to
That worries
save
me a bit.
not killed, but the only way to save him is make him become the Eye.
Yeah. Maybe.
So his spirit is still alive, but his physical body is gone.
I hope that's a couple more seasons down the road.
No,
I
but
want
we
to
s-
see him in the armor fucking up some dudes,
But-
man, or chicks, whoever.
We're not going to see that because that was before the time right now. Like there might be flashbacks. We can still get that in flashbacks. But for right now, we're not
Lame.
going to see. I personally, I think that's great
I don't.
because like
That was one of my big negatives with Lord of the Rings. It's like one of the only things I don't like about those movies. I think the villain's boring. Oh, look at the eyeball. It's so boring. I'm like, I want to have a physical threat, man. Like
I'm sorry, the millions of orcs weren't physical enough
that was
for you.
cool, but I don't like. I don't like the big bad being like some eye in the sky.
No, he's just the
Palpatine over here
king.
with his dudes in the hoods. I'm like, I
No,
want to
but-
see someone do something.
Like
You know?
they're still in hibernation. Let's say they're still in
Yeah.
hibernation, and their their minions are trying to bring them out. They're trying to awaken them. That's the idea of the Eye.
I know.
He gets killed somewhere. Sauron gets killed. The physical body, anyway, gets
Yeah.
killed somehow, and then his spiritual body becomes the Eye.
Yeah, like I'm cool
That
with that
watches,
at some point.
which
I
is
just-
watches over Mordor.
Yeah, I
which
just hope
is
in
what's
season
gonna
2
happen.
we get to see Halbrand, aka Sauron, actually get to do just some
Well,
fighting.
we just saw him walk into Mordor.
exactly.
But then again, we don't know. We might get that on season 2, and on the end of season 2, we get him getting killed because
Which I'm
I am
cool
no,
with.
no man can kill me. I
Yeah.
am a woman. That kind of stupid
Which
shit.
I'm cool with.
Yeah, but like and then like we could get that,
And then they start being like, "Oh
and then
fuck,
we
we
get
got
the eye.
rings. We need to make a ring, bro."
But
You
that
know?
makes no sense because we already have the 3 rings to the elves.
Yeah, and then
So who
what
makes
was it?
these rings?
It was 10 rings. Is it
It-
7
no,
rings or
it
10
was
rings?
3 rings to the
For
elves.
them, I know that.
7 rings to the dwarven lords.
10 for the men.
9 for the
for
men.
men. God
And
damn.
then 1 to rule them all.
1 ring to rule them all.
Suck a nut. Anyway, there's like, you know what I mean? Like, so in my impression, there was never all the rings were made at one time.
That
Now-
was one thing I thought was kind of interesting.
Now
yeah.
we're getting the rings that the elves made their own.
And then they're gonna make the.
What,
do you think
are
we're
they
gonna
gonna
see
make the
next?
elves?
The men or the dwarves?
Like,
next?
I think the men are gonna make their own rings.
I was thinking that too.
Like that's the way they're going with. So the elves made the rings of this kind of power.
Yeah, so they're kind
Men
of like the
find out
template.
about this,
They're like,
and the
"Whoa,
dwarves find
hold
out
the
about
fuck
this,
on," yeah.
and then they decide to make their own rings.
Yeah,
But that makes no sense.
compared to kind of how they introduced it in the LFTR
Yeah, because
movies.
like the way that they showed it in the
in
original,
the movies, they seem like at like they
the
had the
rings
idea
were
and they
made
it.
at one time.
Yeah, like hey, you guys make some, you make
and
some,
then in
we'll make
secret
some.
there was that one ring that was made to rule them all. So somehow
they find
made
out.
this one ring control the others. But
See,
if they're
that's why
all,
I think they're doing that because they're gonna probably lead into it like.
but if they're all
one
made
group's making
separately,
them. I know.
how does that make sense?
I'm not sure.
So right now in season one, right now canonically we do know the 3 rings of the elves that
It's
they do
out,
get
yeah, it's there.
is theirs. They have them. By the way, they looked gorgeous.
I know. I like
they
that they visually look different. I don't mind that.
Made no sense to me, but I love the way. Like
I don't
whatever.
mind when they take liberties like that.
I know, neither do I. But I just love the way they
Yeah,
look
they
gorgeous.
definitely because all of them just look like regular gold.
They're
rings.
just regular
yeah.
rings. Yeah, fucking shitty.
Hey, this is gonna be good for merchandising though.
Well, yes, but like when they made these 3 rings, who's gonna make the rings for the dwarves? Are the dwarves gonna make their own?
That's what I was thinking.
Then who's gonna make the rings for the men?
That's the only one I was like,
The men don't have the knowledge of minerals as the dwarves
That's
do,
what
or
I'm
the
thinking.
skill as elves do. Because elves
Maybe-
perfected their craft for thousands of years.
Thousands, yeah.
They don't die. They're literally immortal.
That is interesting, man.
So
I
they're
don't
just
know.
gonna get some schmuck. Hey, make me a ring, and then boom, there's the ring of power for the men. Or the
Yes.
elves are gonna make it. They're gonna realize that they're not like this isn't fair.
Maybe.
The elves aren't like that. The
You know,
elves
maybe
aren't those
Murillo
kinds
will
of
probably
people.
be like, "Hey, what the fuck, man?" And then she'll be like, "You know what? You're right."
No, the elves aren't those kinds of people. The elves. This is why we don't see them a lot in the Lord of the Rings films. Actually, we don't really see them at all, even in the books. In the books, we see them fighting their own battles, but not the battles with
Of
men.
Sauron and all that other shit,
You know,
yeah.
well, they're fighting against Sauron, but they're
At
not
the end.
fighting with men. They're
Yeah.
fighting with themselves. So we see like the battle of the Linden elves. So which is why this is actually pretty interesting. I didn't know about this until a few months ago. In Two Towers, or a few years ago actually, in Two Towers, we see how right before the armies of Mordor, Isengard was going to attack Helm's Deep. A legion of elves came to help. Right?
Yeah.
We saw that in the movies. To be honest, that doesn't happen in
the books.
In the books, that was only meant to represent the battles of the elves having on their own against
see.
Isengard and Mordor.
Oh.
But they couldn't incorporate that into the film, so what they decided to do was just give the the humans
Give 'em a
elf
cool action scene, put 'em
reinforcements.
all together,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll just put them together. So it represents the humans and the elves
Which plays in
fighting
the Return
against
of the
Mordor
King as well.
But in the books, we do know that the elves are doing their own battle on their own turf, and then we have the
Like
humans.
a Civil War kind of thing?
No. They're not fighting against each other. They're fighting
Oh.
against
The
Mordor.
orcs on their own.
Yeah, the elves are fighting against Mordor and Isengard on their own,
On
and
their
then
own
we
over
have
there.
the humans fighting against Hell.
Ah.
Okay,
so maybe
they're
this.
separate.
So maybe Rings of Power is going more towards the movies.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that again, who makes the ring?
I don't know.
Right now, so far, we do know the elves made the ring of power for their elven race. The 3 rings for the elves, they made it themselves.
Right.
Right. They're not going to make it for the humans, and they're definitely not going to make it for the dwarves
No.
because they don't care. They want to preserve their own lives, which is why we saw in the books them fighting their own battles, not fighting with the humans. That's what I meant by like we didn't see them in the books. We only saw them fight with themselves, like for themselves, not for the humans.
Well, I think they're going more off the movies, man. And they all fought together in the movies.
Again, yes, but that was just to show that the elves were fighting their own battle during the Battle of Helm's Deep. So while the humans are fighting the Battle of Helm's Deep against the 10,000 orcs, elves are fighting their own. Because Linden, okay, so there's Rivendell and there's Linden.
Yeah.
Linden elves get wiped out eventually.
Oh.
Linden does not become a thing. Later on, Linden gets destroyed. And then then there's just the Rivendell elves. Because we know the elves come from Valinor, which is a completely different continent.
Is that where like Galadriel was going?
Yes,
Okay.
that's when they're
Yeah, where she was originally,
Yeah, Valinor was where the elves originated
from.
and then something happened to their tree that gave them life, the lights.
Yeah, they burned the tree.
Well, something.
Not them, but
Yeah,
Sauron or
technically
something.
Sauron or
or
whatever
the
the
dude
fuck.
he was working for. Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me, that guy. I forget his name. I
Morgoth.
apologize. It actually might be Morgoth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Morgoth.
Morgoth. When Morgoth's power expanded against Middle Earth, it diminished the power or the light of
Yep,
the
he burned
Valinor
that shit.
trees.
Aha, bitch.
So that means the elves went to go defeat Morgoth to brighten their own homeland. But when they defeated him, they stayed in Middle Earth.
It's kind of cool around here.
They're like, yo, we'll stay. We'll make sure that he's all gone, and we'll kick it here. They're literally like the United States of their version, because like,
we just beat these fucking guys.
whoa,
Let's
whoa,
just
it's like
make
you
a
guys are
base.
fighting. We're gonna come to stop everybody.
Yep.
Those are the elves.
Ah.
Like, fucking, oh my god, you guys have a civil war. We will stop you. United States comes in. Like, we don't want you here. Leave. But no, we are the good guys. We shall save everybody.
Might be a little more subtext in this show than I was not.
But that's but that's like the way the elves like that's just the way it was. So like it's just it. You know what I mean? It makes no sense.
And who knows? I don't know. That's a good point, man.
But that is what the elves did. The elves realized that their homeland was getting destroyed.
Yeah,
because of the light was being diminished. So they went to Middle Earth to destroy the thing that was
doing
light.
it, and they're like,
But
"Yo,
once they destroyed it, they didn't
go home." But then Galadriel was like, "They ain't gone."
They didn't go home actually.
Yeah,
because they destroyed
they stayed there.
They
but
defeated
the other
him.
ones,
They defeated Morgoth.
Yeah,
but then they stayed. They didn't leave.
No, I mean, at the beginning of this series, they were saying, "Okay, now let's go the fuck back already."
Well, no, they're only sending a few people back.
That's what I'm saying.
But then later on, we learned that the light in Middle Earth that keeps the elves alive was being diminished because of Morgoth or Sauron, whoever. Well, it's mostly because of Mount Doom. When it blew up, everything went to shit.
Mountain Doom.
But when like it when blew up, like people were just like, oh, we need to leave because our light's being diminished. But then we also see like how Mithril is bringing the light back to the plants, to the tree that brings the, which is why we see the elves wanting the rights for Mines of Moria so they could,
because it healed that leaf and shit. And I was like,
it heals the one leaf, which honestly I find it stupid. All they have to do is just pay like 100, like pay 1 million pounds of gold for 100 pounds of mithril and just wrap it around the tree that's diminishing, and then the tree will regain life, and then all the elves will be fine. That's my opinion. Whatever. You know what I mean?
The king says, fuck off.
The one rock brings back the tree. So imagine if you put the one rock in the roots of the tree.
Yeah.
Would it not help the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So put more rocks.
The dwarf said, fuck off. The dwarf king said, I don't give a fuck.
But like if they decided to pay the
wake
dwarves.
Up this guy over here.
But if they decided to pay the dwarves a good amount of money, or
king ain't gonna do that,
if the elves decided to be like, hey, you know what? We will mine the rocks and we'll give you half of it.
I don't think. I think Durham's gonna have to do that shit under his dad's nose, bro.
I honestly think there's gonna be a war brewing. Elves versus the dwarves.
You think so?
Oh yeah, for the Mines of Moria.
That's how it all goes down, huh?
That's probably gonna have to go
and
down.
They wake up, homeboy.
I'm not gonna say they're gonna take
every goddamn thing.
They're not gonna take the mines, which might wake up homeboy and burn everything down.
Fucks up everybody,
and then it might be the beginning of the destruction of Mines of Moria.
Man. Jeez, dude, they need to make more seasons fast.
Because, like, who knows? Because right now we do know, even the Elven King knows, the Mines of Moria is active. And they have high deposits of mithril, which they need mithril to keep their race alive in Middle Earth.
Yep.
And also in Valinor, because we don't know, because, like, if the lights diminished in Valinor once, it might diminish again. So that means they need to keep the light. That's why they went to war, to keep Valinor safe. So because the light was diminishing, like Valinor's light. So like Valinor, like, you know.
Yep.
So they're like, all right, we need to protect our light to go attack Middle Earth, or else they just would have never attacked Middle Earth. They would just stayed in Valinor.
Yeah.
But they came and they attacked. Like they tried to fight, so they saved their own homeland. So when they fight, when the darkness becomes so strong and it affects Valinor itself, they might just be like, fuck it. We have to attack the dwarves. That's why we see a lot of conflict between dwarves and elves. Granted, we see a lot of conflict right now, but nothing major. We haven't seen them fight.
It's building up. Yeah,
it's building
starting
up.
It's starting the conflict a little bit.
Even in the Battle of the Five Armies in the Hobbit, the third film, dwarves and elves didn't fight each other. They really didn't. They showed up, they squared off, stared each other down, turned around, and fought the orcs. That's what happened. You know what I mean? By the way, the tactics were so stupid in that movie. But anyway, I'm not going to go into it.
No, we definitely got to get into that. I'll have to watch those. You have to get into those one of these days.
The dwarves do a shield wall, you know, and then like the orcs are attacking.
Yeah.
And then the elves, this is my mindset of the elves. Like these dwarves are protecting us. Fuck these dwarves.
Yeah, fuck these short
So they
motherfuckers.
jump over their shields, and then they start attacking the front lines,
Fuck
which
these short motherfuckers.
makes no sense in the tactical battle because you need to stay behind shields.
Elves definitely are Americans.
Yeah, but it was just mostly for fan service to see the dwarves and dwarves fighting.
These motherfuckers be too proud, bro.
Yeah, I just love that idea. Like, they're not protecting us. Fuck that. And then they go like, oh shit, we need them to protect us. Actually,
oh
getting their asses
boy.
kicked.
Man, but I gotta say, I really enjoyed this series, man. I was
great.
just short of loving it. I like it a fucking lot.
It's very great.
It's like House of the Dragon, man. It was a very pleasant surprise for me,
it.
man. Very pleasant surprise for me. But obviously, I knew Lord of the Rings a little bit more, so I had a little bit of background going into this one, and I didn't get a chance to watch ROTK yet. But I watched the first two leading into Rings of Power, so now I'm definitely gonna make a priority to watch Return of the King, so I can freshen up my mind and see where else is gonna go. Plus, I just haven't watched it in a long time, so it'll be fun.
ROTK, what is that?
Return of the King.
Got it.
Yeah, ROTJ, Return of the Jedi. So I just threw a K on there. So yeah, so I definitely got to get into that, and I got to get into the Hobbit movies, man. Never seen them. I always heard such shitty opinions about them. But I'll watch them now. You know, it's not gonna harm anything now. You know, I just didn't want to go to the theaters back then to go see them. You know,
well, don't pay to watch them. Watch them for free.
No, oh yeah, you got HBO Max. I'm good.
Yeah, watch them for
I
free.
already got it.
Fuck, I'll give you.
Well, I technically paid the subscription already, but
I'll pay you. I'll give you a website to watch it for free.
I'm watching HBO, bro. Websites be having fucking pop-ups and shit, man.
They really don't. Not mine. Anyway, it's great. I recommend watching it. If you like the lore of Lord of the Rings, you need to watch The Hobbit.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to.
I'll definitely check it out, man. I'll definitely check it out.
What brings... You got to understand the reason why they call the sword Sting.
Yeah, I'll get into it at some point, man.
You know what sword I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, because you haven't seen The Hobbit.
Nope. Anyway, but I'll get into it, man.
Frodo's sword?
Short running around and shit.
You know Frodo's sword, right?
Yeah.
You remember when he first finds Gollum, and then he's like, "You know the sword. The sword's called Sting."
Oh, nope,
do you know why?
About that line, no.
But you know of it, right? Does that ring a bell in any kind of sense?
Nope.
Damn it. Anyway, that sword is called Sting because it was Bilbo's sword.
Oh, that's the sword dude's
Bilbo
using.
Was one of the first persons that he's ever used a sword on was Smeagol. And Smeagol says, "It stings, it stings."
Oh.
And then Bilbo also goes, "Sting, that's a great name." Boom. That's why when Frodo grabs a Smeagol and he puts him to the ground when they first meet in Fellowship, and it's like, "You know of this blade. This blade is called Sting." And then like Smeagol's like, "Oh shit." Because he knows that sword because that sword stabbed him.
I don't remember that shit. But yeah, man.
That was the reason why they called it Sting. And it was great. We didn't know that, but like you know this sword, like what the fuck? But now we see it in the Hobbit. That's the reason why it was called Sting. Smeagol himself named it.
I thought they just liked wrestling. No, I was playing around. I'm fucking around.
No, I would have called it Rey Mysterio.
Fucking Sting and shit.
I remember Sting.
Oh yeah, when he did the crow thing. But anyways, but yeah, man, this is a good ass show, man. I gotta say, man, if you haven't checked it out, you definitely need to put it on your watch list immediately, man. You need to get on that. It's a pleasant surprise for me and for my main man, Drew, here. We're digging it. He's loving it. I'm liking it. I want to hear from y'all, though, man. Let us know what you thought about this thing down below in the comments. I would love to get into a discussion with y'all, even if you hated it, you loved it, you fell somewhere in between. I want to hear from y'all, man. And also, let's just keep it civil, guys. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get too crazy, you know. I know there's been some pretty hot debate going on, you know. Black elves and all this stuff, guys. Let's all remember it's fiction and they don't exist. So
everybody's complaining about fake characters.
Yeah, so
this fake character looks like this. Yeah, he's fake. Who cares?
Yeah, you know, it's like the whole like debate with Ariel in the Little Mermaid movie they got coming out. Very dumb shit.
Wait, why?
She can't. A black actress is playing Ariel this time, right?
Oh, it's kind of like Starfire.
Yeah.
In the Teen Titans films.
You know what I'm saying? Why does it fuck? She's an alien,
it shouldn't really matter. Yeah, and
it's stupid as fuck. She's orange in the comic, so what? It's stupid, man. Like I'm like, you know, like you want to bitch about Black Panther and they made Black Panther about a white dude in Jersey? I get you.
Wait, they did?
Okay, no, but I'm saying if they did that, I would understand the disdain and people being pissed because Black Panther is a character based on a black dude from Africa where it's predominantly black.
Yeah.
So it's a real place. Wakanda isn't, but the continent they are in is. Right. So that's different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you have characters from fucking Morgoth, you know what I mean? So it's like, let's just try to keep it civil. Let's try to remember they're fake characters, guys. That's all. I'm not saying you have to like it, but let's just keep it civil and let's just be able to discuss this.
Maybe they do got a tan.
You know what I'm saying? So I think most of the great people in our community right now, I haven't seen any of that nonsense going on. Even people that don't like the movie or have critiques for the reviews, man. Everyone's been really cool, so let's continue.
There's always that select few though that don't
you know
like it for those reasons, but I also feel like some of those people just like to troll.
Exactly, but like I said, let's just try to keep it civil, keep it positive, let's keep it fun, man. And as I said before, we're going to be getting to all the anime stuff, ending out the 2022 year. And 2023, we're going to be going even heavier and stronger into that, man. So many great things to come. Black Panther 2, right around the corner. Black Adam, baby. Can you smell what The Rock is cooking? We're going to be smelling it on Friday, baby. I can't wait. It's going to be a good time. But yeah, make sure you share this with your friends, family, co-workers, girlfriend, boyfriend, anything in between, man. Share us with everyone around the world. We're trying to grow this community, man. Slowly but surely, it's growing every day, and it's all thanks to you beautiful souls out there. So until next time, man, do you have any closing words before we take off for the day, yo?
Well, if it's just about the live action shit, no.
Anything, man, anything you want to say to the peoples, any recommendations, anything real quick before we get up out of here?
My recommendations are usually just anime recommendations.
Yeah, man, but we're going to get into them, man, for sure.
Well, I know, but I don't feel like I should say about anime
I feel you, yeah.
right
I feel
here.
you, man.
No,
but yeah,
it
make
makes
sure
no
you
sense.
watch The Hobbit. I'm going to be checking that out soon.
Check out The Hobbit.
And,
you guys need to give it.
Yeah,
watch The Hobbit. Watch the extended versions of the films. I know it might
they
be
have
long.
extended Hobbits, too?
The extended versions of The
Jesus
Hobbit. The
Christ.
extended versions of The Hobbits. The extended versions of Lord of the Rings, which the Lord of the Rings
Those
films go
fuckers
for.
like 4 hours apiece.
Basically.
God damn.
Which I recommend watching it because they do expand on the characters. They expand on certain scenarios and certain scenes, which we do not know. Some people think like, oh, it's only like, oh, they add like 15 minutes. No, they add like 50 minutes to the fucking movie. It adds so much more. Like, it's crazy.
Thank God they didn't do that for Harry Potter. That'd be a lot of hours, right?
I would sit there and watch it. I'm okay
I
with
know,
that.
but I'm just saying, like, that's
Because,
like
they
imagine
need, like
8 movies, 4 hours.
But the thing is
Holy
about like
shit.
the Harry Potter films, like they never
They
really-
could have did that because they cut out a lot of shit.
They couldn't
dude.
have done that.
Yeah, they
because the
could've.
Harry Potter universe,
They
the
cut out a
lore-
lot of stuff from the books.
Dude, the
bro.
Harry Potter universe lore is not really that expansive compared to
No, I'm
Lord
just
of the
saying
Rings.
they cut out a lot of stuff in the books. Is what I'm
Well,
saying.
yeah, but that's not.
Like a lot of shit, dude.
Yeah, they
Like,
could have
especially in part 4. They cut out like half the book, bro.
I never read it, so
I read that shit, dude. They cut out half the book. I didn't read past 4 because they just started getting too long for me.
Right.
But yeah, they like cut out half the shit in 4. Prisoner of Azkaban, they added in shit that wasn't in there and took things out.
of course.
And then the one time they adapted the book almost verbatim was Chamber of the Secrets, and that's like one of the longest movies. But anyways,
long movie's about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours long.
for those, yeah. Especially back then.
No, I mean
And-
for Chamber of Secrets specifically. Everything else
Yeah.
is about 2 hours.
2 hours, yeah.
2.5.
And then the part 2, I thought they should have just made that one movie because I thought they... Anyway, topic for another day. But make sure you guys are subscribed on the channel. Make sure you download this over on the podcast feed, baby, and listen to this on your drive home from work, on your drive home, or on your trip somewhere, man, in your workout. You're trying to get your cardio in, baby. Run to that phantom frequency, you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it growing. Let's keep it pushing. We're going to see you guys again real soon. We got a lot of content coming at you almost every single day. So until then, make sure you stay tuned, you don't sleep, and much love, y'all.